Welcome everyone to the GESI 2021 Virtual Global Development in Action Info Session. GESI is a credit-bearing, internship-based global engagement program offered by the Global Learning Office, commonly known as GLOW. My name is Sarah McGuinn, and I'm a program manager in GLOW.
And I'm Patrick Eccles, an associate director in GLOW. And together we manage the Global Engagement Studies Institute, or GESI program.
Through this info session, we'll give you an overview of GESI, the structure of the program, and the application process, and you'll be able to identify if you have any remaining questions.
GESI is a program with strong student-driven origins and philosophical roots in the Asset-Based Community Development Institute. Since its founding in 2007, GESI's grown to become Northwestern's largest individual study abroad program. Due to COVID-19, GESI has pivoted to a new virtual program framework, which builds upon a tradition of hands-on, critical, community-based global learning facilitated by long-term international partnerships. Upon completion of GESI, students will be able to analyze community-based approaches to international development, demonstrate the capacity to work effectively in teams and collaborate across difference using participatory strategies and principles, reflect critically on one's own social identity, power, and privilege in response to new social and cultural contexts, promote respect for local knowledge and diverse forms of expertise, especially the role of community partners as co-educators. And finally, to integrate knowledge from academic training and experiential learning toward an active commitment to responsible global engagement and social change in their everyday lives. As a participant in GESI 2021, you have the option of completing a virtual internship with a grassroots organization in one of 7 countries: Guatemala, Costa Rica, Argentina, or Bolivia in Latin America, Ghana or Uganda in Africa, or Vietnam in Asia.
Now let's cover some of the basics. Virtual GESI is a unique global engagement program that includes academic coursework and a professional experience. GESI students participate in virtual internships in one of 7 program locations, as Patrick just mentioned. While you will rank your location preferences, you are ultimately assigned to an internship location. Often students want to know what makes GESI so unique. The first thing you should know is that GESI is very people-centric and relationship-focused. The program involves a variety of opportunities for collaborative learning and virtual community engagement. GESI requires a strong work ethic, humility, and a willingness to collaborate. The GESI experience is unique to every person, meaning that every cohort and student will have their own takeaways. The ways students narrow down their first choice GESI location can be really varied. The first factor is Spanish language background. If you have taken 1 year of college level Spanish or the equivalent, which means you're essentially conversational, then you are eligible to apply to a GESI Spanish speaking country. For students without Spanish, this narrows your options to the remaining 3 locations. Beyond language ability, you might have a particular interest in a certain region or country. The other 2 factors are the area of work offered per location or the partner organizational structure.
So here's a list of the possible work areas students can pursue in the program. Before GESI begins, you will be assigned to an internship with a community-based organization. In this chart, you can see some of the focus areas available. A lot of these topics overlap and intersect, so they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. Based on your major current activities or interests, there's probably a few that might stick out to you. The work area can sometimes help students determine their preferred GESI locations. Updated information will be available on the program webpage for you to review as you prepare your application. Let's talk about GESI's partners abroad. Northwestern faculty and staff work with a variety of coeducational partners with community-based expertise in different development contexts and settings. GESI's local partners have unique offerings based on their networks and development models. Each has their own commitment to community-led development, which means that exactly what you do and how you do it will vary in each location. This chart offers a brief glimpse into the number of and type of organizational partners in each location and a brief description of their general approach to this work. This information and the scope of potential projects at the internship will be listed on the program webpage again. While we may often use all-encompassing terms like nonprofit or NGOs, the reality is that development work is carried out by all sorts of organizations. The organizations that host virtual internships through GESI represent this diversity and include community-based, governmental and non-governmental agencies, grassroots associations, as well as social enterprises or social impact community consulting organizations. They all have their own languages, structures, approaches, and challenges. None of this is due to one individual organization, location, or partner. These dynamics and tensions are inherent to this work, no matter where you are or what you're doing. So the program will introduce you to this complexity and provide you the opportunity to collaborate for social change at a critical time with stakeholders across multi-layered partnerships. Typically, the initial weeks of your virtual internship experience will involve an onboarding process and practical orientation to help situate you in the local context and organizational settings you'll be working in.
Now let's discuss the actual structure of GESI so you fully understand how this all comes together. The pilot of virtual GESI is happening right now this fall quarter. The next time virtual GESI will be offered is spring 2021. There are basically three components of the virtual GESI experience. First, all students are enrolled in the same quarter-long course co-taught by Northwestern faculty. Second is the virtual internship experience. And third, the internship is complemented by a series of practical workshops that help you to contextualize your work in the local community development setting. GESI is offered as a 2-credit field studies course. The online course has a focus on theories, history, trends, and controversies in international development, and fosters group-based peer-to-peer learning through a flipped classroom model, including small group discussion, activities, simulations, etc.
Through GESI, students will participate in approximately 3 hours of remote class time per week throughout the quarter. The asynchronous content will be a recorded lecture, and the synchronous sessions will consist of small group and discussion-based activities that will prepare students for the remote work and community engagement experience. Course sessions will foster critical thinking, team building, and stakeholder engagement through small group discussions and role-playing exercises that simulate some of the decision-making dilemmas often encountered in development and community organization contexts. Students will be assessed based on their participation in the lectures and online discussion forum, group work, written work, and performance in their internships. The course themes, content, and readings will focus on orienting students to development in a global context as critically engaged, culturally humble participant observers. The online class time slot for the spring is expected to be Monday, Wednesday, 9:30 to 10:50 a.m. Part of the 2-credit field studies course includes a 15 to 20 hour per week virtual internship. The virtual internship experience will comprise a portion of community-based research, advocacy, or project-based work. This is defined by the host organization and in alignment with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, as well as a series of workshops with community partners, which might include guest lectures, culture sessions, language training, and other forms of virtual exchange. These sessions are meant to replicate some of the on-site learning that typically allows students to contextualize their global experience, and in the current format, will also analyze the shared impacts of COVID-19 across different sectors. So here's a rough estimate for how hours per week will be broken down during the virtual internship. Let's say you work 15 hours per week in individual or group internships with a community-based organization in one of the sectors we just discussed. Roughly 10 hours of that would be dedicated to project research or advocacy-based work. And this would involve project management, check-ins, meetups, and independent work time. Then you have up to 5 hours of practical workshops, and these include the guest lectures, group reflection, cultural sessions, or language training. Keep in mind that commitments for asynchronous and synchronous engagement will vary by location. This is based on time zone differences, technology considerations, and other factors. And we want you to please note that we strongly discourage students from over-enrolling during the quarter. Last quarter, in the fall, students and partners found it difficult to manage schedules in light of the built-in limitations of working across time zones, trying to juggle lots of priorities and continued unknowns during COVID. Trying to find common availability was a big challenge for everyone involved. The GESI program also requires students to be prepared to contribute to face-to-face interaction and prioritize relationship building in the virtual community engagement context. This means having the time, flexibility, and capacity to be fully present and available across, according to cross-cultural professional expectations, and in order for the remote internship experience to be successful for all involved.
Now that you've learned about the program, let's talk about the process to get you there, the application. So the application will be due on January 30th. It'll open in early December. Please discuss your plans with your school and/or academic advisor. The application includes brief essays. You will rank your location preferences, and we think you can work on it over winter break. The application is open to second, third, and fourth year undergraduates from every major and minor. Financial aid applies as it normally would during any quarter at Northwestern. Internships in Latin America require conversational Spanish ability, usually the equivalent to at least 1 year of college level Spanish. Hopefully you've learned more about the virtual GESI program. If you still have questions, please email the GESI inbox. We look forward to working with you.